the peace of knowing, when tomorrow is no longer a promise, but a curse. The world we inhabit today, tomorrow is no longer a hope, it has become a burden. For many, especially those whose lives have been a long road of struggle, abandonment, or quiet despair, the idea of living longer is not a gift, but a sentence. And so, when a terminal illness arrives, and the end becomes visible on the horizon, it can bring with it an unexpected piece of clarity that modern life, in all its noise and artificial distractions, seldom offers. In some countries, like Canada, the Netherlands, and Switzerland, euthanasia is a recognized right, not a crime. This reflects a deeper truth. When the journey has reached its final, painful miles, why should one be forced to suffer through every remaining breath, waiting for nature to complete its grim task? We afford our pets a dignified, painless exit. When their suffering becomes unbearably, deny ourselves the same mercy. This contradiction exposes the cruelty hidden behind false morality. The loudest voices against such rights often come from the same quarters that condemn abortion, the so-called moralists, who view existence as sacred, regardless of its quality. But they ignore the deeper, darker truth. Most of us never chose to be here. Our births were accidents of biology, not sacred invitations. How many people, if given the full truth of this world in advance, its wars, its poverty, its betrayals, its corrupt systems, would willingly sign the contract of life? Religions have long filled this existential void with comforting illusions. Heaven for the righteous, hell for the wicked. But these are man-made constructs, tools of control, crafted by the same hierarchies that exploit our fears and keep us obedient. The afterlife becomes a currency used to buy submission. Without belief in eternal punishment or reward, people might dare to live authentically, without guilt, without shame, without fear. And that is what power fears most: people who live fully unbound by illusions. A society that honors euthanasia is one that recognizes not just the sanctity of life, but the sanctity of choice. It allows individuals to reclaim agency, to say, "I did not ask to be here, but I will choose how I leave." In the end, death is not the enemy. The real enemy is a life dictated by fear, fear of judgment, fear of poverty, fear of outliving one's dignity. For some, the final act is not one of despair, but of liberation, a dignified goodbye to a world that never offered one. Why are men so afraid of death? Is it because life is so magnificent they can't bear to part with it? Or is it the fear of the unknown, the silent void that predates our first breath and awaits us beyond the last? From the moment we are born, something else is already decided: the moment we will die. Yet we spend our lives pretending that truth doesn't exist, as if denial could make us immortal. The irony is sharp. No one asked to be born, yet we are denied the right to choose when or how we leave. Religious people see it differently. Faith turns death into a transition, a sacred passage into paradise or punishment. Their fear is not of death itself, but of what judgment might await on the other side. Religion packages mortality in the comforting wrapper of divine purpose, promising that suffering has meaning and that pain leads to reward. But if near-death experiences are to be believed, those strange, bright tales of peace, light, and release, then death is not the villain. Death becomes a return, perhaps even a reward. So the question must be asked: are we here to suffer? If death is truly that serene, that liberating, are we not then prisoners of a life we never volunteered for? And if so, might we one day regret not claiming the only freedom that truly belongs to us, the freedom to choose our end? For while we had no say in our arrival into this world, perhaps our final act could be the only one truly authored by ourselves.